What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boy oh boy, I saw a post the other day by Charlie Intel, and it sparked a ton of controversy within the community. And honestly, I wanted to bring it into a video because I thought it was pretty fun to, see everybody's different opinions, and I can kind of see both sides of the story here as well, and I would like to kind of partake and give my opinion on the overall topic. But ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and dive right on in. As you can see right here, while there are valid complaints over some aspects of Black Ops 7, the complaints over the futuristic theme will probably result in Activision only allowing past/modern set Call of Duty titles for the next several years, just like what happened after Infinite Warfare. Now, again, I can kind of understand where Charlie Intel is coming from here. And if Activision partakes in this, they are absolute morons. But I'll explain later why they would be morons. But I'll be real, when they had a little bit of a break from futuristic games to previous games, I don't think that it was specifically because, people were just tired of the futuristic setting within Infinite Warfare. For example, if that were the case, I think current day, everybody has been hating the Infinity Ward design. Let's be real here. I mean, it might actually sell because Call of Duty sells all the time. But the general idea on social media with everybody that you will discuss with is that a lot of their design decisions have not been the best. Yeah, they make a very clean, polished looking Call of Duty game. But man, oh man, when it comes to the formula of what they think Call of Duty is, they have been way off the mark for years now. Yet they still go ahead and produce, the same game over and over and over again. They're not holding back whatsoever, Same thing with Infinite Warfare, though. Infinite Warfare might have gotten a lot of crap, but didn't it sell? It still made a crap ton of cash for them. So at the end of the day, I don't think that, again, it was the futuristic theme. You have to remember as well, we still got Black Ops 4, which was still a pretty futuristic style of Call of Duty game. So we still revisited futuristic settings within Call of Duty. But I think the major reset was because they were resetting the overall franchise and becoming, as we all know Activision to be right now within Call of Duty, lazy. I think that's why we haven't seen much future style of content. Just like how the Call of Duty name, the brand, was built. Started off with World War II, then we got Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, World at War, another World War II game, but then, eventually they branched off to Black Ops 1, so on and so forth. They did a similar thing, right? They went all the way up to futuristic with COD, and they hit the reset button and hyped everybody up with showing Price's face on, Modern Warfare 2019, getting everybody back into those COD 4 vibes. Even when it came down to the marketing, heavily Call of Duty 4 influenced. You could tell, again, they were hitting the reset button. And that right there is why I personally believe, we haven't seen any futuristic CODs. They're just lacking the creative vision. They could have just kept branching off and doing different, time periods per each Call of Duty game and doing their own thing and making new, actual IPs within the Call of Duty universe. But instead, like I said, they hit a peak. And they said, the best thing that we could do here is reset and go back to the original hype of the franchise. And that's exactly what they've been doing. They've been slowly working their way back up from, World War II games, Cold War era games, modern day games, getting a little bit more to, modern, near futuristic. And here we are, dabbling within BO2. And as I stated, personally, I think we will see more futuristic games, despite the negative reaction a lot of people are giving towards Black Ops 7. And that leads me to another portion of this discussion here. When it comes down to, again, Black Ops 7 getting a lot of hate. I don't think a lot of that hate is coming from the overall futuristic setting of the game. The majority from what I see is the fact that people are just kind of burnt from Call of Duty in general. Now, of course, yeah, there are some people out there who are saying, oh, futuristic is bad, and people who would much rather stick to a modern day setting. But I think for the massive majority of people out there who grew with Call of Duty want the variety because that's what, Call of Duty thrived off of, going from modern day to, again, World War II, modern day over to a Cold War style game, modern day, and then now we're going to the near futuristic, so on and so forth. That was the charm of COD. There was always something fresh to come back to. So I don't think the mass majority, it's probably, again, some out there who would much rather prefer playing modern day only, and they'll fight for that and say everything else is garbage. Understandable, though, because, everybody prefers different things. But I think that, again, it just comes from Call of Duty burnout. We have been burned so many times with this franchise, and we have seen this time and time and time again. Like, I've already expressed why I am cautious with Black Ops 7, because I've seen this bait and switch so many different times. They did it with Vanguard, they did it with Modern Warfare 3, and now they're doing it with Black Ops 7. And it really sucks, because the majority of the time, like Modern Warfare 3, for example, it was a really freaking fun game. And again, it was packed with content, but it was only really there to bail Activision out from, skipping a year and allowing the devs to have creative freedom and allowing them to actually genuinely cook with the franchise. It was only there to, just basically say, okay, this is Modern Warfare 2 2022 fixed with a ton of content. And I've always said that Modern Warfare 2 2022 down to the core foundation wasn't that bad. Same thing with Modern Warfare 2019, honestly. It just comes down to the stubbornness of Infinity Ward, their idea and ego over their ideas, and not allowing the community to really, give any of their ideas a shot within the game. Both of those games could have been phenomenal, and Modern Warfare 3 is proof of that. Sledgehammer took the Modern Warfare 2 2022 formula and actually made it good. And it was nice. But how many times are we going to have to support this, though? I see a lot of people saying that this is what we should support. And part of me does agree with that, It is a good idea to go ahead and support the games that actually do produce the content and do give you, things that the community want. Removing doors, removing tac sprint within Black Ops 7, 16 maps, I think. Like, all of this stuff isn't bad. A bunch of brand new weapons. I think it was at least 15 plus brand new guns that we've never seen before. Not bad stuff. But this doesn't guarantee what the next year is going to hold. They're going to give us all of this now, and the next 2 years we're giving garbage, and we have to suffer through trash. And then the third year is like, oh, look, now we're back to tons of content. No, they are worth billions. They should be able to consistently produce games that have that type of content. And if they can't, then guess what? Maybe it's time to take that year break and allow the developers to produce actual, fresh, good, unique ideas and a plentiful amount of content to go ahead and back it up. But to be honest with you guys, I do agree with Charlie Intel that I would not push it past Activision to use this, futuristic hate to push it towards, Infinity Ward being able to, push out more modern day titles, since they do make a lot of cash. Let's be honest. Modern day is, very popular. Okay, let's just be honest. People love past games. People love futuristic games. But I think when it comes down to the mass majority, although they'll all make money under the Call of Duty umbrella, modern day is like seriously the bread and butter of consistency when it comes to consistent cash coming to, again, Activision. Like, let's be real here, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes down to the most played games and the most sold games, it's usually Modern Warfare 2019, Modern Warfare 2 2022. Modern Warfare 3 has been a top played for ages now, years after, it's been gone away from getting consistent updates. Usually that is where a lot of the support comes from. So I'll be honest, I wouldn't push it past Activision to say, oh, everybody is crapping on BO7. It must be because it's futuristic. But I'll be real, there'll be morons. Activision would quite literally be morons for pushing out such a statement, when every single post that you see has nothing really to do when it comes down to the futuristic setting. There's so many cool futuristic games, and I actually had a little side video that I wanted to put together, talking about how I would love to see Battlefield, led by Vince Impella, push into a game that's more like Battlefield, 2142. That would be so freaking awesome with the atmosphere of something like Battlefield 1, so on and so forth. You can make a cool looking, near futuristic or even futuristic style of shooter. But when it comes down to the Call of Duty franchise, the COD fans know that's not what they're going to be able to expect. There's so many things going wrong within the universe of COD, whether it's the vibes of the skins they're introducing into the game, the skill-based matchmaking, horrible servers, horrifying anti-cheat. Absolutely horrific. I mean, all of the above. Again, inconsistent games, not being able to give consistent content year after year after year, having awkward in-between Call of Duty titles, so you never know, and people are still purchasing yearly, expecting that consistency, and they're being met with trash, and then something decent, and then trash, and something. Like, there's so many factors to why Call of Duty right now is in a bad spot. And I hope that, again, Activision is not a bunch of idiots, and they are just going to go ahead and pin it on futuristic, because that's not the case. There are so many things that are going wrong right now for the reason why this game is getting the hate that honestly it deserves. And I know people are going to say, well, again, this game is coming with everything that we've been asking for. But as I stated, how many times is that going to happen, ladies and gentlemen? Are they going to do it next year? There's no guarantee. Now, if they do, then that's a good sign. That's a very good sign. But they have not proven it to us yet. We have been on such an inconsistent cycle that nobody knows what to expect out of the franchise, and it has completely lost its identity. But, ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget subscribing to that bell. I post here daily at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. Everything between COD, Battlefield, Splitgate 2, Arc Raiders, and sometimes we even go ahead and double upload at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So, of course, subscribe and hit that bell. And last but not least, if you guys are interested in my live streams, I stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, I'll link that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all on the next one. Peace out.